Hello everyone, welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moon Day Oracle message. However, today is not Moon Day, today is Tuesday or Tears Day, February 9th, 2021. So this will be a message for the week of February 9th, 2021, and for the collective and all those who find themselves here. So before I go into how the message works and what you can expect to find here this evening, I'm just going to take a few moments to let people connect while I share and let people know that I am live, as this is a very different day and very different time from when I ordinarily do these lives. Hey, lovely unicorn sister. Welcome, Jillian. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you were able to make it. I know you're normally not able to because of the time difference. How is the quality of sound today? Just going to go ahead and oh, awesome. Thank you for that. Hi, Eileen. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Flo. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Thank you for being here, everyone. All right, I think I'm good. Just make sure I didn't miss anything so far. All right, so how are you all doing today? How's your week been? You know, since last Moon Day. I know I was not here. Was I? No, I was not here last Monday. Or was I? Yeah, I was here last Monday. I have no idea what today even is. I'm floating around in time and space again. Thank you. I'm preparing for my special dragon journey this evening, so felt that it very much wanted to be worn. But thank you for noticing. Hi, Rosemaria. Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here this evening. I'm glad that you could make it. Yeah, how you all feeling? It's been interesting, you know. I'm going to talk about this on the energy forecast part of the segment. It's been really strange, the energy with the balancing and the whole, feeling up and then down really quickly. I'll talk all about that. So yeah, the brain fog, and what's interesting, and that's what I want to talk about, is that I don't feel it until like the second half of the day. So there's definitely a big theme about balance coming in, and we just had 11 viewers for quite some time there consistently before it changed. 11 being an energy that's all about balance as well. So, hi, Eleanor. Thanks for popping in. I'm glad you could be here. Hi, Laura. Welcome. All right, so I guess I will go ahead and get started. For those of you who are new to my page, I'll just go over what it is that I do here, what you can expect. This is not my ordinary day to be here, although I am very much all about divine timing and just kind of going with how I feel. So I'm not here consistently, as those of you who regularly follow Moon Day know that it just really depends on my energy level or what I have going on. I'm very much about honoring myself and the energy. So every Monday or so, I try to go live here every Monday, although today is Tuesday, February 9th. and go live with a message of higher guidance and insight into the energy of the week for all of us as a collective, and what we really need to know, what it is that can give us a bit of an awareness to kind of understand the energy and to allow us to move in more of a harmonious flow with the energy versus kind of blindly just getting swatted around by it and anything that's going on cosmic, because these days there are always just major cosmic planetary alignments, like, you know, day after day after day there's something big going on. So really, without having that awareness, we kind of just are like aimlessly, blindly floating around, getting swatted around by energy and not really knowing what to do about it or how to deal with it. So that's what this is really geared towards, to give us that heads up and awareness. Awareness is power, and again, it does allow you to just flow harmoniously versus kind of struggling against the current and just exhausting yourself doing so. These are not individual personalized readings that I'm doing here today for those tuning in. It is more of a generalized collective overview for all of us. So that means that it's going to resonate with each and every one of us uniquely according to what we're all experiencing individually within our own lives, as well as we are all one, a one consciousness. So it does impact all of us, or the messages will still pertain to all of us in some way or another. I do offer personalized, private, individual readings. If you're interested in booking one of those with me, you can do so through checking out the services on my page or just sending me a private message here on Magical Me, and I can tell you what it is that, you know, the different types of options that I have. I also offer remote and in-person healing sessions as well, energy healing sessions, also Reiki, Reiki as well as light healing sessions. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, feel free to shoot me a message and, you know, we'll go from there. So how this works is I usually just talk a little bit about any news and announcements that I have going on here at Magical Me, as well as Oracles of the Light, which is my sister business with my two partners, Lindsay and Karen. And so I go over that really briefly, and then after that, I like to talk about the energy forecast. And that's really just an intuitive approach at what it is that I'm feeling intuitively, as I am an energy sensitive, empath, clairsentient, intuitive, however you'd like to refer to it. And I do really feel energy on a collective level. I usually sometimes experience it a little bit in advance, as there are different waves of energy and different waves of spiritual people who experience things, to be able to relate them to others to help them understand what they might be going through. So sometimes I notice I do experience something a few days or so, or even a week in advance, and then it allows me to help others understand what they might be experiencing. So that's really one of the main reasons that I do this energy forecast, but also anything major going on astrologically, which these days is always, or you know, with the moon, I like to talk about that. So it gives you, again, an understanding and really giving you that power to use this energy to your advantage. And then after that, I use my oracle abilities, as well as using oracle cards, to bring forth a message for all of us for the week. And that's the main part of this I don't know if you can call it this live today. It's the main part of it. And so I use oracle cards and then my own intuitive interpretation as to what that means for all of us this week. After that, I like to pull a mudra card for all of us to work with together, and then that allows you to work with that same mudra all week long. So I'll talk more about what mudras are when we get there. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and welcome the rest of you that just popped in. Charlene, Carmela, Jessica, Jerry. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I greatly appreciate that. So how have you all been feeling? Because, yeah, the energy is quite interesting these last couple of days. We keep getting pelted by snow. Pelted. It's just like, and you know, I'm here in New Jersey in the United States, and it's not uncommon to get snowstorms during the winter here and there. And we usually, for the most part, get one big one throughout the year. It has been snow after snow after snow, and a major, like, 3-day one last week. So it has been quite intense, and there's definitely something going on with that, where I was really drawn into feeling on kind of a little bit more of an a level that you can understand it, was that with the snow, I was really feeling like it's this whole blanket of purification, as well as it's really blanketing us as like this whole deeply purifying, cleansing, alchemical process that's happening right now. And I think, oh God, Dawn just said this coming weekend too. I heard that as well, and we got a little bit more today, but it wasn't as bad as they were saying it was going to be. So I'm kind of hoping for the best with that as well this weekend. But yeah, so there's a deep magic that's really occurring, and the winter is a time of stillness anyway. It's really about kind of allowing yourself to go within, to restore that harmonious balance to yourself, as everything in the universe is about cycles. So, we go through those whole warmer seasons is really about movement, creation energy, putting things into motion there. Really just go, 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 whereas the winter is the time on the wheel of really coming back within ourselves for gestation, for new life and new concepts, new ideas to really bloom within us. So that's, kind of where we're at. We're meant to harness that energy as well. So, hello, Lynette. Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here. All right, so news announcements really quickly. There are not many. The only real, I think, one that I have to announce is that Oracles of the Light. So if you are not familiar with my sister business, go on over to our page on Facebook and check it out. Give it a like. This way you can stay up to date with both, things that we have going on there as well as over here. We have at Oracles of the Light, we are currently offering a reading special for the month of February, and it's actually the choice of 2 different readings, or you can purchase both readings, whatever you choose to do. It's all about love and the different sorts of love that we really see within February. Should be within every day, the whole year long, but February is a really, it's the month of a 2. 2 to me is all about balance again. 11 viewers once again. Balance, and it is about the balance of, within relationships as well, and not just the relationships externally, but your relationship with yourself internally. So we're offering 2 readings right now. They are called love readings, and there is an offer created on Oracles of the Light. I know I shared it here on Magical Me Too. For $40, you choose your reading. It is either a rose quartz reading, which is all about the different ways that you can bring self-love into yourself and into your life, and what your higher self is really trying to give you a heads up on as to what specific area or what you can do to work with bringing more self-love into your life. That's the first one. The second one is called a red rose reading, and this is all about romance and how you can embody more, bring more romance into your life, what you can expect within 2021 regarding romance, or how romance and love will bloom within your life. So if you're interested in one of those readings, feel free to, you can shoot me a message here on Magical Me, or you can even go over to Oracles of the Light and message us there and book your reading that way. If you see the little advertisement that we created for it, again, it should say love readings at the top. The information to purchase is there as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it right now. And the reason for this is because, one, you just heard me talk about the winter and how that is really a deep time of reflection. And because I'm energetically sensitive, I really find myself just naturally aligning with this season and with the cycles that we go through. And so I've been really deeply, as well as the oracles, we've been really deeply in that whole gestational process. I myself have been really drawn to go within myself and really begin to look deeper at one, what wants to be released from my life, what layers are still coming up to be shed, and then as I sort through those layers, more and more of my truth, my true identity, my soul's true purpose and reason for being is really starting to come through loud and clear. And let me tell you guys, I've been on this journey for, and I say this journey, I mean my like spiritual journey, spiritual awakening. I've probably been on this journey for close to 20 years now. And it just gets better and better and better because I don't stop evolving. We don't stop evolving. So, you know, when you hear me say I'm finding more and more of myself, it's just like everything that I am and everything that I have been is still not even scratched the tip of the iceberg of who I am. And I think that's a message for all of us this month, period. Not just this week. This month is a big, big one because we are in the sign of Aquarius. And Anubis agrees. We're in the sign of Aquarius, and you know, we have moved into this age of Aquarius, which is, it shifted the focus, and you heard me talk about this months ago, so I won't waste too much time on it, but it shifted the focus from the individual in the old Piscean age to the overview of the individual as well as the collective. The energy of Aquarius is very much about humanitarianism. It's very much about the we instead of the I, and you can understand then that this prophesized age of Aquarius and what people were so hopeful about it and looking towards it. You know, the 60s was huge for promoting the energy of the age of Aquarius and what that would mean for us. And what it does mean for us is that it's moving us out of a very self-absorbed, self-centered, very patriarchal, all about the me, into all about unity and all about we, and what can we do to help us together? How can we rise, evolve together? So there's a lot of that energy that's really, really coming in right now for all of us. So February is going to be huge. However, this week is quite a doozy. It's going to be interesting. One, the overall theme that I'm picking up is that it's a week of, it's really facilitating the understanding, the need for balance. I know this is a very common word in our English language, balance, 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 but do we really fully understand that? This week is going to teach us something about that. It's going to be all about understanding how to bring harmonization into our lives. And so the reason for that is because, one, we have a massive stellium, astrologically speaking. I mean, this is like a great awakening. We have 6 planets in the sign of Aquarius this week. As of tomorrow, I believe, the 11, there's the 11 viewers again. Tomorrow is the new moon on the 11th. It's also going to be the 12th, depending on where you live in this great wide world. So 11th or 12th, new moon energy in the sign of Aquarius. Also, the sun is currently in the sign of Aquarius. Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus. There's one more. I think it might be Pluto, or is it Mars? One of the two. I'm so sorry if I'm completely lucky that I got all that down. And then I know that one of the, is it the asteroids, is also Pallas, I think. Is that Pallas Athena? Is also in Aquarius. So there's like this energy of 7, which is the number of alchemy, transformation, transmutation. Also the divine, it's the number of magic and the divine. Really like holy energy, if you know, for lack of a better word, holy, divine, purity, energy of miracles. So this is a great transitioning, is the word that I hear, a great awakening for us all this week alone. That energy is going to carry out through 2021, but it's really going to be really heightened in February. So interesting, especially considering, you know, moving into this new moon. Now, new moons are all about planting those new seeds. And if you notice, the last couple of new moons, at least I've noticed, because I'm all about balance. I love unity. It's part of my work here. I love everything that comes into perfect alignment there, all that unity and the aligning of polarities, that sacred marriage energy. I've noticed that the last couple of new moons that we've had have fallen in both the sun as well as the moon are in the same sign on that new moon. I think it wasn't that way last month, if I'm not mistaken, but this this month again, it is. So you've got the sun in Aquarius, the moon in Aquarius, along with all of the other planets and all of the magic that they also create as well for us. So I'm not going to go into all of that, but what I am going to focus on is that sun and moon energy, which the sun, solar energy, is all about the masculine polarity, the divine, sacred masculine energy that we all have within us, that we all have within ourselves. That is our action, our movement, our ability to take what was inspired, to take that seed and actually bring it to life. Then we've got the energy of the moon, also in Aquarius, which is the sacred feminine energy, and that feminine within us as well. So within us and within the world. So this is a really potent energy this week about the recognition of as above, so below, as within, so without. Really showing you the balance, the synchronicity, or the not synchronicity, symbiotic nature that we have there with the universe. So really bringing more awareness to us there, but bringing us back to balance. Once again, balancing our polarities to integrate them as one now, working from that oneness. And that's what Aquarius is all about. Aquarius is revolutionary. It does have some more negative tendencies as well. So with that said, you're going to see both the best, and because Aquarius is in so many of the planets, so many of the planets are in Aquarius, you're going to see so many different areas of your life or our lives impacted by Aquarius energy, not just one. So it's really moving, shaking things up, really focusing our energy on what Aquarius represents. Now, Aquarius is ruled by the element of air. Air rules the mental body and the thought processes, as well as perspective and how you see yourself. So it's really bringing that analysis into you to really reflect upon how it is that you see yourself in the world, how it is that you see the world, having a bit of transformational experiences. And that could be triggered in many different ways. That could be activated. Now you've got the trigger and the activate. So there you go with the balance of both polarities. We got the activator, which is the awakening. But then you got the trigger, which is also more of an awakening, but it triggers kind of more in a negative way to bring about the activation, if that made sense at all. So you've got the balancing of the scales on both. We're getting it from both ends. And that brings me to how I've been feeling this week, which is, so far in these few days, I've woken up feeling amazing. Again, I've been doing a lot of deep soul work. I've been feeling amazing, feeling completely within myself, completely whole. And then by the end of the day, or the middle of the day, I suddenly start to feel completely exhausted, completely drained, barely fighting to keep my eyes open, and that's not normally me. That's why I actually took off yesterday and didn't do the moon day. And so you see, you've got this, I'm up and then I'm down. So I think this week, this message is all about experiencing both ends of the scales. And the reason for that is because we are meant to take that Aquarian energy and reflect upon how can I make this more suited for me? Now that we're shifting and all of this high frequency energy coming in with the cosmos, all these ascension upgrades, these light codes that are coming in with all of this shifting, it's shifting your energy, which means that you're not the same. The outdated is shedding and falling away. Obviously, you do need to have a bit of a hand in that as well. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But with that falling away, you're being adjusted, which means that now adjustments are in order. And I think we might have discussed that last week. So you're experiencing both ends of the scales this week, and how do you integrate them? How do you bring them together in oneness, in unity, so that you can come into that place of wholeness? So, for example, with my situation, it's about learning my limits this week and not going, a couple months ago, Jamie was like, Energizer Bunny. I could run marathons a day, and sometimes, some of my friends would be like, I have no idea how you do that. How are you still going? You did this, this, and this, and this. And it was just normal for me. But I'm finding that more and more that taxes me, and I'm actually asked to step back from how much I do, bring myself into more of working on myself more, and then working externally some. And so now there has to be a balance. I have to take that into consideration every day. So that's just one example. But it is important for us to go into ourselves. We are in dark moon energy right now. This dark moon energy is going to be felt today and tomorrow. The 11th and 12th will be new moon. So new moon, again, that's the time of planting the new seeds, the rebirth of energy and the forward movement. I'm going to get back to that in a second. The dark of the moon is where it's that time of really going into the darkness, entering into the void, and really starting to sift through, because that's when the magic happens. A lot of people talk about or have a fear of the void and going within their shadows and their darkness, or even taking time out to come into themselves in the stillness and to really face some of their own thoughts, their own behaviors. This is essential because we do have to take responsibility and accountability for our own ascension, for our own well-being. There's only now the cosmos and the light codes and all of that, and the higher ups, they're helping us. They're definitely facilitating, but facilitating doesn't mean doing the work for you. Now, while they're facilitating, they might be just triggering bombs left and right and leaving you to deal with that mess. And how you deal with that is by acknowledging what's going on. Why is this here? What is it teaching me? Where does this come from? Is there patterning in my life? So I have been really, really guided to go on a journey of really going into past and current contracts, oaths, vows, and agreements that I've made with my soul, not just this lifetime, with the as long as my soul's been in existence, and whatever ones I'm still carrying with me. And when you think about that on the surface, you're like, this, nothing comes to mind. I've done a lot of spiritual work, or I've done a lot of self-work. So initially that's kind of what I thought, was like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Boom. It was shown to me in dream states, and I couldn't believe how many contracts and oaths or vows I was still, or distorted matrices I was still carrying. So I was really guided to see them through my dreams. So this could be happening for you, and recognize the pattern and how it's still impacting my life. So, and I see Eileen just mentioned I got karma and other people's karma. This probably ties into that, sweetie. How you could be carrying other people's karma is how you are still somehow linked to them and that karmic situation, which means there is some sort of contract, there's some sort of vow, some sort of bind that you are linked to, that you want to look into analyzing and releasing it. So the way that I did that was I gave it a couple of days to really show me things that I needed to see. And I'm sure there's still more. We release what we're ready to release, what we're ready to work through. So we've got layers, layers upon layers upon layers. So I'm sure it is a constant process of evolution. Otherwise, we don't need to be here anymore. We get to ascend and go home, right? So I actually did, during this time, which this dark moon energy is perfect for this, a fire releasing ceremony, where I wrote all that was shown to me down, and I just stated that I released this, and that, and I called in my family of light to kind of see it with me, to witness it, to hold space for me, to make it so that this is happening. I am releasing these. You could do this with water as well. You don't have to use fire, but to me, fire is just, got that whole, really, really drawn to the whole like phoenix energy of fire right now. So I worked with it, and I felt amazing the next day. So use these 2 days to really start to work through what is coming up at this time for you, what has been being triggered these last couple of weeks. What are you acknowledging about yourself and thought patterns, behaviors? Where are you still carrying some distorted patterns, thoughts, beliefs, wounds? Where are you still tuned in or plugged in to others and situations that don't serve you anymore? Okay, so that's important. So now moving into this new moon energy, I feel like why this is so heightened is I just have this feeling, call it a hunch, I just have this feeling that this new moon is big. This new moon is going to be quite, and considering all the planets that are in alignment with this energy right now, I guess so. But I do feel like this is a very pivotal moment in the year for us in our lifetime. Very pivotal one, that this is going to be quite a game changer. And I do feel like there's a lot of liberation coming in with this new moon for us. So make the best of it. Put it out there. A lot of people are experiencing fears that are coming up to the surface right now too, surrounding old patterns and cycles. This is your time to take your power back and recognize where you have been disempowered through this situation or fear. So really harness this energy and work with it. Again, finding the balance all week long, at least this week. But again, that's going to be an on. We're meant to be in balance all the time. But I do feel like we get shown or adjusted little by little, so it's not so overwhelming for us. So that's why I say this week. But just know that on a greater level, obviously, it is about moving into a more harmonious, balanced lifestyle. And again, not just within, but without. Okay? All right. Hey, Karen. Welcome, love. Rosemary says, you were in my dream. Oh, I was. You're going to have to tell me all about it. I'm so interested to hear that. A lot of people already know this, but I am a dream walker or a dream oracle. Some people call it, depends on the culture, which means that oftentimes I am in people's dreams, people that I've never met in person, people that mightn't have known me like 20 something years ago, and suddenly they'll get led to me because there was a dream and I was in it. And normally what I'm doing is I'm teaching them something, or I'm protecting, or I'm doing a healing, or I'm guiding them into something. So when someone tells me that, or it could be the other way around, and that person is having dream messages that pertain to my life, because there's something also called collaborative dreaming. And if you want more information on all of this, dreams are incredibly fascinating. And more we're guided to work more with our dream state, because it is one of the best forms of learning and communication with our soul, as well as our families of light. We don't even realize it, but the oracles and I actually offer a pre-recorded 12 workshop dream oracle interpretation course. So if you're interested in that, you can go over to our website. It's www.oraclesofthelight.com/online courses, or you can even just check the online courses there once you get to the main page of the website. And you'll see a bunch of different online courses that we offer. There's even an offering section that has more courses that we offer online. These are all pre-recorded, which means you can watch them in your own time. But the Dream Oracle stuff is pretty important. So I'm really interested to hear what it is that you have to share, Rosemaria, because that would be, maybe it pertains to what I'm dealing with right now, or, maybe it's being helping you in some way. Hey, Kathleen, I didn't even see you sneak in, love. On the mark, taking back power and old fears surface big time. Yeah, I see that. I had some come up for myself, not many, but I had some in a very specific area, which I'm kind of just like plowing through right now. I'm kind of learning how to plow through them. So pivotal time indeed. So exciting. Yeah. All right. So let me see if I missed anything else before we go into, hey, Bridget, Annie, welcome. All right. And if I missed anybody and didn't say hi, I'm not ignoring you. Sometimes I just don't see them. And sometimes I don't get to see the comments until afterwards. Hi, Monielle. Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here. So intense week. Please be mindful of your energy, mindful of what we're experiencing, mindful of everything that's coming up for you at this time, including your dreams. And really, if you can, harness the energy of this dark moon and new moon this week. So really, again, with the new moon, focus then on what it is that you want to create. And just even focusing within yourself about how you are shifting your outdated ways of seeing things or doing things. How you see yourself is actually really shifting. And one thing too that I know it's big for me right now, but I actually seen it in many different places. People were talking about it with the energy of this new moon, and the Aquarian energy is bringing about this whole cycle of coming back to you. It's coming back to self, if that makes sense. And that made sense with me being able to start to really starting to see something that's always been there, but it's almost like I wasn't able to understand it until now, if that makes sense. Really coming back into self. And this to me is like where I'm standing in that point where I see my soul across all time and space. And it all is being anchored into the now, if that makes any sense at all. So seeing yourself in your true light, bringing you back to you. Kind of, again, that shedding of all the distortions, the contracts, the vows, those things that have kept us on looping cycles that have clouded our perception because we've been really living a life or living with a perception based on distortion or things that we've had to experience and go through to overcome. So coming into sovereignty. Okay. All right. Hi, Colleen. Welcome. Rosemary says she can barely hear me. What about anybody else? Are you having a hard time hearing me, or is it okay? Microphone. I'm afraid to mess with this because I don't know what is what. Let's see. Okay, push the up button. How is it now? Kathleen too. Okay. How's it now? No. I'm taking it out. All right, what about now? Hi, Angela. Welcome, gorgeous. Thank you, Bridget. I just want to make sure before I go on with the reading. A little better? Okay. It's better, Lynette? Oh, thank you so much for telling me. Yeah, I don't know what's been going on lately. It's like I've got to unplug and then plug back in. It's really strange. So, makes no sense. I do apologize about that. I hope it wasn't too low, because that was a whole lot of talking. So I hope it wasn't too low. But thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right. All right, so thank you. I am going to go into the Oracle message now. And I have been guided to work with the, thank you. Oh, yeah, the retrograde. That's been interesting in itself, okay? Now it's loud. Oh boy. All right. Well, thank you guys. Okay, so I am working with The Oracle of the Dragon Fae by Lucy Cavendish. Really, really guided. You see, I've got this whole like dragon vibe going on. I've really been connecting in to the energy of my personal dragon guardian with some of the work that I've been doing. And dragon energy, and this is dragon fae, so it's obviously they're like a hybrid energy, which is interesting because that's what we are. But the dragon energy, you know, just to give you an insight, is very primal, very ancient wisdom, knowledge, magic, very much about sacred guardianship and protection, as well as connecting into the cosmos. So very much about that whole primal, it almost makes me feel like what I was talking about again with the whole kind of going back to, coming back to you, coming back to your soul origins, if that makes sense, your your original reason for being. So their energy is really fantastic for that. I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with working with dragon energy, and I understand that completely. So I always just say that if you, whenever doing any work with any type of energy or any type of beings, if you choose to, you should always ask for the energies that come in divine, unconditional love only. Okay? All right. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get into it, but first I'm going to invite you all to enter into sacred space with me. As we are all sharing energy at this time and connecting into one another, we're just going to invite you to step out of the chaos, the noise, the stress of the day, of the week, of the year, of the world, and just come into center, come into self, and close your eyes. And just take a nice deep breath in. And just let all tension in your body fall away. Drop your mind down into your heart as you take another deep breath in. Coming into your heart center. Releasing all stress, all fears, all worries. Taking one last breath in. And release. All right. And what guidance comes forward for the world as a collective's highest and greatest good for the week of February 9th, 2021? Yes. I completely understand this. It does really play into kind of really what I've been already talking about. Dawn loves this deck. And who's uncomfortable with dragons? Some, not all. All right, so this card, it's a 21, which would break down to be a 3. So once again, we're focusing here on the energy of cycles. So again, releasing the old for the birthing of a new, for the starting of a new chapter, new era. But again, an old cycle coming around full circle with a number 3 for you to really step into. I told you I felt like I was kind of standing in the center point of, all of my soul's like experiences, and then all of that are still yet to come as amazing 0 point energy to be in this whole reset almost type of energy. And so that's what you get with a 3. You have the opportunity to really kind of look through that old cycle and acknowledge it, understand it, and then you also have the opportunity to look to the new, but definitely working through releasing what can't go with you anymore, what you've learned, and how you can transform moving into the new energy. 3 is also the number of Trinity, the creation number. It is the unity of 2 energies. So the polarity is coming together in divine union, integrating them to create something altogether new. So very powerful number about what we are sparking to life within us and what creational energy is coming forward here for us all. So the card itself is the listener, and it says sacred silence. So that in itself, it kind of says it all. It's really about listening this week. Listening not with your human ears, listening with your superhuman ears, with your spidey senses, listening with your body, with the feeling, the energy sensory, if you will, listening with your body's natural ability to be intuitive, listening with your instincts, listening with your gut, that yellow golden solar energy there, listening with your feeling, which is the orange sacral energy there, and that is our ruled by the element of water, so that is our emotions, but also connecting into our intuitive ability, our ability to feel, right? So, and yes, Rosemaria is right. She says also with the heart, listening with the heart, because our heart is I feel as well. Heart and womb are very much linked, or should be. Some of us, we obviously have to work back in linking them. But at the end of, I should say at the very core, our heart and womb are linked. Even if you're a man, your sacral space, pelvis area, that energy there is linked. So sacral chakra, heart chakra, and higher heart chakra linked, okay? So yes, feeling into what you feel, connecting into what you feel, connecting into what you hear, what you receive, what you see in a dream state, and listening to what you see, listening to the synchronicity, listening to the patterns, listening to that voice that wants to be heard, the one that you silence, the one that you stuff down back inside. It's about listening, turning on all of your senses to really listen to what it is that wants to come forward, what it is that wants to be acknowledged, what it is that's guiding you. So this can be in many different forms, as you heard me just say this week, many different ways to listen. Using all of them is key. So really tuning into not just what we see, but to what we really see. What do we see? What do we hear behind someone's words? What do we feel behind someone's words? What do we hear behind our own words and feel behind our own words? Very important. I feel like this is a week to get really real with yourself, and with what you want, and how maybe you have been a great enabler in your life of those things that you don't want, and what it is that you are being instinctively, insatiably drawn to, called to. In your heart of hearts, you know. In your heart of hearts, you know the truth. You know what is for you. You know what is to be done, because it's not your first rodeo. So remember, through listening with your sacred ears. All right, enter the silence. How do we enter the silence? By coming within. You heard me talking all about the stillness this week and last week, and the snowstorms that are blanketing us with their beautiful silence. Because if you ever stand in the middle of a snowstorm, you hear nothing, just silence. So that in itself is a message for us all to really allow the blanket of silence to cover us so that we can really clearly hear truth and what it is that's being revealed. Meditation, you don't have to know how to do it, guys. That's the biggest question that I get when people try to meditate, is they try to meditate with their mind. No, meditate with your heart. Meditate with your sacral. Meditate with your feeling of your entire body, and just allow what comes through to come through. Drop out of your mind into your heart, into your sacral, and allow what comes through to come through. All right. Pay attention to your dreams, entering the silence. That way you can set intention before bed. I inadvertently set my intention before bed, and I was just shown pattern after pattern after pattern that wanted to be released. So set those intentions that way. Connect in, use oracle cards if you work with oracle cards or tarot cards, and connect in that way and ask to give voice to what wishes to be heard at this time. Okay. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but yet oh so difficult, isn't it? It does sometimes feel very, it's very difficult sometimes for us to find that One, time. Time is an illusion. It's priority management, friends, not time management. But it can be challenging. But you can do that if you choose to. Make the time to really listen. I just heard. Find a room. Turn off the lights. Light some candles. Play some light frequency music. Surround yourself in crystals. If you have crystals, if you don't, that's okay. If you have them, place them on you. And just really set the intention. Clear your space. Call your guides. Call your higher self. And just listen. And then get that notebook. Because it'll probably come like rapid fire. The moment you truly turn that on. So pay attention, and everything around you during the day becomes part of that as well. Wake up in the morning, set your intention to truly listen, to truly receive, and that's it. And be in that place of receptivity. Let go and just allow it to flow the way that it needs to. So then pay attention to the synchronicity around you, to the hawks circling the sky, to the crow that called when you stepped outside, to the license plate that gave you a number that connects into something else, to the energies that you see on Facebook, to people posting different things. Everything is part of that process. Everything becomes part of a message. All right. So I hope that it gives you a good understanding and hold on how to really work with this energy. Always a great idea with new moon time to, again, as we said, the releasing ceremony, and then bringing in the energy with the new moon of planting these new seeds. And I love to ritually do a card reading for myself about what the energy of this new moon, from new moon to new moon, is bringing into my life. So something to work with as well if you work with cards. Okay, so I hope that helps everybody this week, and I really hope that you uncover some really deep magic. All right. Oh, you're so welcome, Jessica. Thank you for being here listening. Lynette, perfect time to do so with the snow. We will purify. Yeah. Okay, so earlier heard me say like on an understanding level, and sometimes I receive these insights that are just next level. They don't sometimes make sense until they do. I will share something with you about snow. Yes, the purity. Absolutely. All of it. Snow is water at the end of the day. And water is purification, cleansing, renewal, restoring as well. And it's deeply transformational in the sense that it acts as a conduit, as a portal, if you will. So very much about connecting. And I don't know about you, but do you do your best thinking in the shower or in the bathtub? Washing your face, brushing your teeth, all of a sudden these insights just come in. Work with the element of water as well. Balance water and fire. Why not? We're all about balance this week too, right? So snowflakes. I actually saw that snowflakes, you know how each snowflake is different and unique, that no two snowflakes are created the same. I actually saw that snowflakes are tiny, tiny little motherboards of light encoded frequency. You know how water is able to be programmed, right? Well, some people know that, but if you didn't, water is able to be programmed. And you can give water a intention. You can give water a consciousness. And so water crystallized, crystalline in structure, frozen, can be programmed. And so snowflakes are programmed frequencies, consciousness, codes, what do you want to refer to it as, that are falling upon Mother Earth in great quantity at this time. What do you think that means? So, like I said, sometimes the things that I receive are incredibly out there, but they make sense when they need to make sense. Okay? So magical, magical time and magical week for us all. Again, with Aquarian energy, it's going to be a big month. We're gonna experience both polarities. We're going to experience the best of Aquarian energy. We're going to experience the worst of Aquarian energy. But know that it's not a bad thing, that everything is happening for you, not to you. Okay? All right. Wow, Kathleen. I bet you that's beautiful to see. Have you ever actually seen snowflakes? I've only had, I think, maybe twice or 3 times at the most in my entire life. I remember one time I was trying to rescue a black cat when I was little, and I was stuffed it in my book bag and was taking it to school because it needed a home and it was snowing. And as I was carrying her before I put her in my book bag, snowflakes were falling down on her fur, and flakes of snow. And then as I looked down, I actually saw snowflakes. It's just amazing. Beautiful. All right, let me see what else I missed here, and then we'll go into the mudra. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Keisha. Thanks for being here, ladies. Annie, welcome. Kathleen says, funny, I have to beware of dragon signs. Beware of dragon signs on all doors and gates. I love that. Keisha says, I'm learning to listen to my inner self. I've silenced her for so long. I'm ready to hear her now. Good for you. Absolutely. I think we really all have in some way, with the exception of these new children that are being born, by the way. I mean, they're just remarkable. Things that they say, do, already know. My goodness. Holy cow. Divine. All right, everybody. Thank you for the feedback, for the interaction. You know, I love that, and I love just kind of co-creating here together. So, I am working with a deck called Mudras for Awakening the Energy Body by Alison D. Nicola. So for anybody who is unfamiliar with working with mudras, I'll do a really brief explanation here. So the word mudra itself is Sanskrit, and Sanskrit is a very ancient language. It's believed by some to be one of the original languages on Earth, or a form of one of the original languages on Earth, which is very similar in the way that it works to light language. Light language being light encoded sound. So the kind of like how I talked about the snowflakes, but through sound instead. Very ancient languages that when you utter the words, you're actually, the vibration that's being, or the frequency that's kind of coming out is actually triggering some healing, some activation. So very powerful. So the word mudra itself translates into seal, or energy seal. And what that does is act like an activator, that when you form these seals with your hands, because you have chakras in your palms, you have your fingers are connected to the elements, and so they act as triggers or also activators. So when you form these seals with your hands, as there are very many of them, you're probably very familiar with a lot of them. You know, we do this, a lot of them all the time. We don't even realize it because it is something that we've all worked with over many different lifetimes, and they have been being worked with for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. So, and they're still very widely used today. So when you form these seals or mudras with your hands, you are actually activating your energy centers known as your chakras. Your chakras are linked into your energy bodies. Main ones being your physical, your spiritual, your mental, as well as your emotional body. So when you activate combining intention or breathing, you're channeling energy and life force energy into those energy centers, activating. This allows for that energy to flow through those centers, awaken them, and start to remove any energetic blockages that you may have. When we hold energetic blocks within our energy body, it can eventually, well, before even eventually, can cause issues on our emotional body, can cause issues on our mental body. It can block us in our spiritual light bodies. It can also cause issues and trickle down to physical blockage and physical disease or ailments in our physical body. So when you work with mudras, they have the power to facilitate the removal of those blockages that promotes a healthy flow of pranic energy, life force energy through us, which then helps to essentially awaken all of those energy centers, bringing them into a balanced alignment and that healthy flow, which then helps to alleviate any ailments or blockage essentially also helping us to expand in consciousness and achieve enlightenment. So they are incredibly powerful. So powerful that sometimes they do come with a bit of a caution, just because they do stimulate the energy. And if you might suffer from a certain issue or illness or ailment on your physical body already, and we, let's say, use a mudra that triggers the chakra that's connected to that issue that you currently experience, it could bring that energy, bring an overabundance of energy into that area, which would then maybe create a bit of aggravation. So I will give you, I will let you know ahead of time before using it if it does come with a caution. Okay. I'm going to pull the mudra, and then I will show you how to do it. We'll work with it together if you choose, and then I will post it to my page for you to save it to your phone, whatever device you watch on, and then you can work with that all week long. The more you work with it, the more you are empowering yourself. It is a very simple, effective way to take your power into your own hands, literally, and to facilitate that growth and healing needed. Okay. Hi, Denise and Tracy, welcome. I'm on the mudra part of the segment, but anything that you missed, we're going to have quite a potent week. You definitely might want to catch it back. The replay will be available for you. Okay. All right. So here we go. What mudra comes forward for the world as a collective's highest good for the week of February 9th, 2021. Ooh, oh my goodness. You can't make it up. You just can't. I love it. I love the magic. All right, it is the Anjali Mudra. And it says reverence. Okay. So, what it assists with. One, you see the color purple here, which lets you know that the chakra that it's most connected to, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work with more than one chakra. The chakra that it's most connected to is going to be our crown chakra, because it could be our crown and our third eye, which we talked about, the perspective. Aquarius energy rules over the mental body, the element of air, so definitely crown, third eye coming in here together. But it assists with divine union. That's like a mic drop moment right there. What have we been talking about all reading long, right? Divine union. Inner silence. Card of the week. Sacred silence, right? Spiritual devotion. Devoting to the self, right? So the benefits are that it cultivates inner awareness. It reduces stress and blood pressure. So good for anybody who, all of us could use a little bit on Anjali Mudra up in our lives with the stress, right? But if, there is no caution with this, but I am going to tell you that because it reduces blood pressure, if you're someone who already has low blood pressure, then you might not want to work with this one. If you have high blood pressure, well, then this is right for you. It assists prayer and devotion. That is fantastic. I can't do it in a cast. Oh no, I know your wrist. Oh, Well, Angie Walters is not tuning in right now, but I'm going to give a shout out to her, my beautiful soul sister over the last almost, 20 years, I think we're going on here. Crystal Essence Healing is her page. Angie tunes in usually. If she doesn't live, she'll catch the replay. And she shares a lot more information that's not available in the books with these mudras. And she usually shares like a chant. Yes, Rosemary has a great point. You can visualize this. Just visualize bringing it into your, into your life, into your energy field. See yourself doing it. That's another way. But Angie likes to share like the mantras or the chants that go along with each mudra. And so just hang in there and tune into that, and we'll see. I'll actually message you when I see her comments come through, because she usually does it when she catches back the replay. So, and thank you, Angie. We love you for that. All right. Prayer and devotion. I did say that, didn't I? All right, so yes, so you definitely, I'm going to post a picture of it on my page and everybody can work with it. It's a super easy one, but oh, so potent. All right. So how you do it? Very easy. We're going to do this together. Palm to palm. Join the hands together in front of the heart center. Okay. Right in front of the heart. And yes, this is like also, they call it it's the reverence, but also this is what I refer to, or what I've heard it referred to as the acceptance mudra. So it's almost like, and it is the prayer mudra, it's the acceptance of, like for example, when I do Reiki attunements to my students, we go right into the prayer position, and it's like the acceptance of the energy. I accept the devoting to the self, the acceptance of who you are, and then a reverence again is to, some people actually say thank you that way with it, as well as you're giving, paying homage, the namaste, yep, all of that. All right, very beautiful, multifaceted mudra here. So palm to palm, join the hands together in front of the heart center with all the fingers touching and pointing upward. All right, close your eyes. And we're going to do this together. Take a nice deep breath in. And release that breath, blowing the breath out of your mouth. Bringing awareness into your palms. Again, nice deep breath in. Release that breath. Again, deep breath in. Release. 3 more times. Deep breath in. Release. Breathe in. Release. Last time, deep breath in. And release. And you can state, I bow with reverence to the divine heart within. I bow with reverence to the divine heart within. I bow with reverence to the divine heart within. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. Wow. That is amazing. So I was not doing the mudra because I was doing the chimes with, while you were doing the mudra. And I heard monks, or, I imagine it was Tibetan monks, actually chanting a mudra every time we breathed in. And the only part that I could make out of it, and I don't know what the mantra is for this, I'm not as familiar with these as Angie is, but I heard this Anjali, which is the name of the mudra, and then there was more that went with it, but I just didn't even recognize it. So that's pretty amazing. Very amazing. So work with this one all week long. Again, no caution unless you're someone who does suffer from very low blood pressure already. I maybe wouldn't recommend this then, but for the most part, I think everybody can work with this, or even use it at your own discretion then. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I'll take a photo, post it on my page. Please save it. One of the most multifaceted, potent, divine mudras, but oh so simple. All right. All right, my loves. Thank you all so much for being present with me this week. I do hope that you are able to find your balance and find your silence and find yourselves throughout this process. All right. And remember, we're a constant work in progress. You do not need to rush the process. Everything comes exactly as you need it. All right. So much love to you all. Have a great week.